How to survive the Netherlands as a Mexican. You know, I'm Mexican. I came here to the Netherlands when I was 27, and now I'm 55, so I'm more than half my life living in this country. So I know a thing of two of surviving and thriving in this country. You know, I love living here. But recently I have been in Mexico, and I remember how beautiful Mexico is. How much I miss it and the things that I love. And I discovered that no, I don't want to go back to Mexico even if I like it so much. No, I don't live here like escaping from Mexico, no, either. I discovered that I have two homes. I have two homes, one in Mexico, I can go back anytime I want, and here in the Netherlands. So how did I manage to build two homes? This time I met a dear friend of mine, a priest, and he told me this wonderful phrase: Blanca, you have expanded your emotional geography. It really touched my heart. I have dear friends, family there in Mexico. I have dear friends, family here in the Netherlands. How did I manage to do that? First, a little bit of story and context. If you follow my channel a little bit, I was raised during the day as a Catholic girl, Catholic schools, and in the afternoon in a very Aztec way of thinking. My family was really proud to be Aztec, and they raised me with those values. So I was super proud of being an Aztec. I was super proud of being a Mexico City, La Gran Tenochtitlan person. I loved being Mexican. I was part of a movement called La Mexicanidad. So this idea of Mexico as a great country in the future was very much inside of me. So I was a very good student, academic prizes, and so they said, you can study abroad. So I said, abroad, but really has to be abroad. I don't want to go to the US, it's just way too close, you know? We are border to border close, so let's go as far as possible, let's go to Europe. And my great-granddad was born in England, so I thought England, that would be really cool to go there. And for whatever reason, I don't know, sometimes I think it's destiny. England was not a place for me. I didn't like the programs, they were not it. And constantly I received information from a university, the Rotterdam School of Management. And honestly, I never opened the envelope because I thought, I don't want to learn Dutch. I mean, thank you very much. English is already difficult enough for me at that time. So I met, coincidentally, was a friend of a friend, an alumnus from the Rotterdam School of Management, and he told me, no, Blanca, it is in English. You don't need to study another language to go to study your master's. I was so excited. I wrote my application, sent my application. I was accepted in the program. I wrote an application to several scholarships, and I got one. Really, from no money to school and paid, in 4 months, I was in Rotterdam. I came to Rotterdam, to the Rotterdam School of Management, and one of the first things that they cared about was to educate us, all the students, the foreign students, on cultural differences. And that is when I learned the work of a Dutch professor who described the dimensions of culture. The dimensions of culture, many dimensions of culture, but what's important is that in all of them, not one, all of them are different. The Netherlands and Mexico are really polar opposites culturally. Mexican culture regarding food, we dream about food, we talk about food, we make a ritual of going, buying the food, eating the food, sharing the food, reheating the food. It's really, wow, Mexico is food. In the Netherlands, you have what they call the broodje kaas. That's bread, not toasted, not with butter or mayonnaise or salsa, and cheese. White bread, cheese. That's it. When I saw that the first time, I was so shocked. And people will just take that in a little container and eat it at lunchtime at 12 o'clock. And that's mind-blowing, exploding madness from my point of view, because in Mexico, my God, there's so many ingredients, so much complexity and nuance. A salsa has, I think, we have an infinite number of salsas because each salsa will have different ingredients in different quantities depending who is doing it and in the mood the person is. It's really infinite. Food is infinite in Mexico. And that is just one of the dimensions, In the Netherlands is very individualistic. In Mexico is communitary. To organize a party in Mexico, you have to talk to everybody. To organize a party here in the Netherlands is that. We plan and it's 10 o'clock on Thursday. Some people plan their holidays 2-3 years in advance. In Mexico, what are we doing in the next half an hour? Or what are we doing now? It's magical. The magic of Mexico. And Mexico there is this sense of possibility and fascination of magic. In the Netherlands, there is this sense of reality, and this is the way things are. So before coming to the Netherlands, I got advice from a dear friend of mine who is Mexican, and he had the experience of studying abroad. His experience was in China. And he told me, Blanca, what you must do is to completely surrender. Surrender to being where you are. Surrender to being in the Netherlands. Surrender to being in Rotterdam. Surrender to eat what they eat, wake up when they wake up, sleep when they sleep. Just go into the experience completely. Don't compare, don't look back. Don't look back. Oh, I'm missing my chile serranos, I'm missing my salsa verde, I'm missing. No, not missing. Just see that and tasted it. So I went and did that. I surrendered to the experience. It was so joyous because I learned to cycle. I didn't know how to ride a bike before I came to the Netherlands. I learned to, to recognize all the different cheeses they have, all the different breads they have. I learned to speak the language. I learned the geography. When I was a student, I traveled as much as I could. I learned to travel cheaply. I learned to save. Mexicans are, abundant. Even if all is in the credit card, they will make the most fantastic parties. Dutch people not. Dutch people save. They buy secondhand. They save money. They think of the future. Mexicans, they think for the moment. So what I did was to follow the advice of this friend, to surrender to the experience of the Netherlands, to surrender to being in the present moment. That advice, please take it as you're planning to come to the Netherlands. If you're planning to do anything in life, surrender to the reality of what is there. Surrender completely. This will help you in the first part of your journey. In the first part of your journey, if you are having a journey that way, you will not suffer because you let go of the idea of missing what you left there. This, of course, cannot last forever. At some point, indeed, you will have this moment of missing. And this is a moment when you need to go to the country of origin and go and see. Travel back to the country of origin and feel the reality that you left. And really truly compare and feel deeply, if you need to go back. I live in the Netherlands for 28 years, so I have seen so many friends going back to Mexico. In all these years, 28 years, I've seen couples of Mexicans and, whatever, of course, many Dutch people, but other foreigners living in the Netherlands who, divorce. And they just go back to Mexico and live their life there, find a new partner, find a new job, and have their life there. And also, I have seen that they do that and come back. So what I'm telling you with this is open up to the possibility that there is a open up to the possibility that there's a possibility. Okay, that's a glitch. Open up to life. You don't need to know that you're going to stay here forever or there forever or never come back. No. Life is open to possibilities. Even if in this historical moment now, 2025, countries are becoming more close, there is always a door. There is always a way. When there is a will, there is a way. The place that is for you will always be open. Don't despair. If the Netherlands really is not for you and you cannot handle the simplicity of the food, it's boring. Learn, you have two options. You learn to cook, you spend a lot of money, or you pack up your bags. Don't suffer. Don't suffer unnecessarily. So, in fact, I'm asking you, if you decide to stay in the Netherlands, start taking space. Now, it's 14 years ago that I became a mom, and I didn't know how that would be to raise children in the Netherlands. And how would it be for a Mexican? Would I need to cut my hair and paint it blonde and start doing brochecas? No. I started behaving even more Mexican than before. I started speaking Spanish every day for my children. From the moment I got pregnant, I started speaking Spanish to them. And then I learned more and more to cook Mexican food. I make quesadillas, that is tortillas with melted cheese inside, for my kids to take to school. You don't know what happened. In my neighborhood, I live in Amsterdam now, in my neighborhood, all the kids of the neighborhood started to make quesadillas because they like it so much. Another thing that I do is that every 1st and 2nd of November, I organize the Day of the Dead in the most traditional way that I master, with the things that I have, with the things that I have brought from Mexico. I have done it with some Mexican friends, but also with some Dutch friends. It is so beautiful. This really gives me the kippenvel. This gives me the goosebumps. We have made the tradition of talking about two things, talking about our dearly departed. I have now the photos of the grandpas and grandmas and of the miscarriages of the neighbors because they are my friends and they come every 1st and 2nd of November and we talk about our dear departed. We talk about that cousin that passed and how she was so funny, about that grandmother, she always cooked that thing, about that, you know, all those experiences. Because imagine, I mean, I'm 18 years with my husband, so I know the neighbors for quite some years. My God, it's going to be 2 decades that I know the neighbors. And the other thing that we talk about is what makes a life meaningful. How would we like to die? Oh, how would we like to live? So what I'm telling you, this section is be Mexican. Be Mexican. Bring it to where you are, to your neighborhood, to your context, to your husband, to your girlfriend, to their family, to to your neighbors, to your children, and they are going to know how is your culture. Be proud of it. And whatever it is important for you, the music, show them what mariachi is. Share with them what is salsa verde. Share what it is the Day of the Dead. My father and mother-in-law have already passed, but he used to say, and now I'm going to get a tear, is that in that family, they didn't hug until I arrived. So living in the Netherlands can be awful if you don't take space. If you just definitely stop eating mole. If you don't hug anybody. If you don't eat quesadillas. Well, do it. Do the things that you absolutely love. For me, it's the Day of the Dead. I can tell you, 1/3 of November years ago, I was crying because I went to a celebration. Somebody did the Day of the Dead and I saw it and it was horrible. It was, I told you, I was raised in a very Aztec way, in a very Catholic way. And for me, it's very important, the death. So for me, Halloween is like a desecration of that day. So I went to a party that they named it the Day of the Dead, but actually it was Halloween. And I was crying in the living room of a Dutch friend of mine. And she told me, Blanca, you don't need to be so sad. You just do the party the way you think is right. And as a Dutch woman told me that. And then I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to take space. And she herself helped me. And we cooked together. We made the bread. And we made the tamales. And we found the music. And I have the photos of her dear departed, of these ladies, one of my best friends. This is the way you build family, you build community, you live your Mexicanity to Mexicanidad, you live your being Mexican, wherever you are. And I'm telling you this that is wherever you are, because if there is somewhere that is the opposite of Mexico, is this country. The Netherlands is, culturally completely the opposite. So take a space. Take space. This will make you very powerful spiritually, very powerful emotionally, and also will help you to create wonderful friends. It will help you to raise powerful children, because they will see the difference between how Papa does, how Mama does, and they will create their thing. And their thing that is going to be brought forward. And this is, I can see that this is what's going to happen in the world. I can see so much migration in so many countries. And I see it as a sign of peace worldwide. I mean, how much does it take to fall in love with somebody? Some time. Still, of course, you can see the person and fall in love, but really to build something in years, to have a child with that person, to raise the child, to build community in the neighborhood takes time. 28 years in the Netherlands. If you and me and the neighbor start building peace this way, by loving deeply the roots that you bring, loving deeply my Mexican roots, and loving deeply the place where you are, in this case the Netherlands, you will expand your emotional geography. And as you create love where you are, as you live love where you have been, there will be more peace on earth. This will create fractals, fractals of love, fractals of light. This is what we want. This is just as a story of a Mexican in the Netherlands, but I see it with people of different religions, of people with different colors of skin, with people of different passports. Let us be the example of love. Take space, play your mariachi, eat your tacos, celebrate what you want. Cinco de Mayo, 16th of September, the Day of the Dead. Be you, take space, and love the other. Love the other, love where you are. Find the beauty. Find the beauty where you are. Find the beauty on the opposite of. You see, my husband is not only Dutch and tall and blonde, different to me, but he is really a divergent thinker to me. He tells me quite often, we're parents, so many times children ask us, Papa, Mama, can we do fill in the blank? And Papa thinks yes, and Mama thinks no, or the contrary. And what we do is that we get together and we talk about that and what is the value behind that. What is why you say yes, why you say no? Is fear, is risk, is respect? What is the value that is behind? And by having that conversation that is really meta communication, helps us to make decisions. And this is the beauty of living abroad, in a place where it's not your culture, because you have to meta communicate constantly, even with yourself. I need to tell you something else that I found really important that comes from my husband. Quite sometimes people have been rude to me. That's not true, rude to me. I have interpreted them to be rude to me. And I come home thinking, oh my God, this is racism. Oh, they are really horrible to me. And I talked to my husband, and this woman, the mother of this child, she just looked at me like that. And my husband, the tall, blonde man, tells me, no, Blanca, that woman that treated you like that treated me like that. And that has been just such an eye-opener. That woman is not racist. That woman has emotional problems. Bless her heart. Afterwards, I knew that she was in the middle of a divorce. She was rude to everybody because she was suffering. So, in the case you get ill-treated anywhere, just know it. It's all the time the same. People are behaving like that because they are fighting some kind of battle that you and me have no idea. They have their problem, they have a person who's ill in their family. Don't think that you are the center of the universe and they are being rude to you. They are just going blind to life, through life. No, I can tell you, this applies for Dutch, for Mexican, for Chinese. Whenever they treat you wrong, it has nothing to do with you. I hope this has helped you. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you. If this is true for another country maybe that you live in, let me know. Take space and love what is. Many blessings. Watch the next video.